So I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month. And the thing about a lot of stereotypes is they say that if you're on SNAP benefits, you don't work hard, you sit on your butt and you just collect checks. I work hard every single day. I get up every single day and clean houses, and I still rely on food stamps to feed my 6 children because the prices are so high. It's unrealistic to think about not having food stamps. Next month, I'm so terrified because 6 babies are always eating, plus myself. And it's like, they always say don't rely on the government. But sometimes, like in situations right now where the government literally has raised prices over 300% on just everything, eggs, milk, everything, you do have to rely on stamps, especially in my situation where I just got custody of 3 children on top of mine. So we need it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm terrified right now. And I don't know if anyone else is scared, but this is scary. Like, Trump needs to figure something out. I don't know. This is so messed up right now.
So there are a lot of people scared today. There are a lot of people upset. There are a lot of people making accusations, saying folks like me are just putting up AI generated content of people like this young lady for the purpose of making money or to stoke fires and flames of dissension and strife between certain groups. I can only speak for myself. And trust me, YouTube don't pay my bills. I am trying to sound the trumpet. And what a lot of people are missing in this debate or in this emotional state, regardless of what side you're on, is what these times, in my opinion, are bringing out is a look into the future of what's going to be happening. My name is Robert, and on this channel, we simplify the home loan process.
Y'all, I just read my email from DHS last night. And that just said, even if you have food stamps left on your card, November the 1st, they system's not going to be accepting it at the store. So you need to go on and get shelf-able food now that can last you from November and beyond. Hey, just a word being put out. Hey, yeah. That's some crazy work, G. That's some crazy work. If you have food stamps, do not be trying to save them on y'all card until next month for Thanksgiving or none of that, because you are not going to be able to use them. November the 1st, they not finna be accepting them cards at the store. You have to go on and get your food and stuff now. I'm just a messenger.
You see, in my opinion, here you have a perfect example of more control being exerted on you. Let me explain. First of all, they playing with you. They shut the government down. The folks that represent the Democrats, the Republicans, the House, the Senate, the people that make the rules, right? Whole time, they're still getting their paycheck. You have to understand this. It's about control. When you look at the overall number, as far as Americans are concerned, the whole population and the percentages, it's not a lot, but you have to understand the control that's being put in place and where things are going. And ultimately, in my opinion, it's to get you to universal basic income. And to some of you guys, that might sound great, but you just don't understand. It's a trap. And all you have to do is look at these SNAP benefits or food stamp benefits, whatever they called them over the last 40, 50 years, and look at the end result of the people, the mindset of the folks that have been on it. Not talking about people who cannot fend for themselves legitimately. I'm talking about everybody that's taking advantage of the system. But not only in this system, in all of these systems, because the powers that be, they want to control you. And what they do is they pit you one against another. The only reason I show these videos is because that's the only thing that gets your attention. Because when we talk about things with substance, you know, we have to be entertained too much. Again, this is going along with my theory of universal basic income.
Andrew Yang is with us now, candidate for New York City mayor these days, former presidential candidate, of course. Andrew, great to see you. You ran on this. It's happening here and there. Between experiments like the one in upstate New York and others, plus stimulus checks, local and federal governments are spending billions of dollars and sending them directly to Americans. Is this a good test of your campaign platform, and do you think it'll catch on?
Of course it'll catch on, Shepard, because we're living it. Right now, tens of millions of American families have seen their incomes either reduced or in some cases completely taken away by the pandemic. And now tens of millions of us are getting these $1,400 stimulus checks that are helping provide a lifeline for millions of families. It makes us stronger, healthier, more secure, mentally healthier, improves our relationships. 55% of Americans are now for cash relief in perpetuity, and 85% are for cash relief during this pandemic.
As a candidate for mayor in the big city, you've proposed what amounts to $1 billion a year plan to give that money directly to the city's poor. New York City is in a world of hurt financially, and you haven't shared specifics on where you'd get the money. Why not? Don't voters have a right to know?
Of course. And we've been very clear about where we're going to get the money, Shepard. You have landlords like Madison Square Garden who've been enjoying massive tax breaks. MSG's tax breaks, $40 million a year alone. If you look at that money and you get it back into the city's hands, plus you invest some level of the city's resources, we can alleviate extreme poverty here in New York City. And the way the city works is that if you keep someone in a more stable situation, they'll actually end up saving public resources, because when someone hits our streets or our shelters, it's very expensive, both on a human level and an economic level.
MSG is not going to foot the whole bill for that.
Nothing's new under the sun. We had the pandemic relief. There were a lot of rent moratoriums, okay, and stimulus checks going out, as Mr. Yang mentioned. And again, he was going to run for president, I think 4 years earlier. Then he went to New York City. And you have to understand the playbook. So he states who's supposed to get this universal basic income. And the reason why is, and I'm just going to paraphrase, so there's no hell in the streets. You see what I'm saying? We need to keep those people comfortable, because if not, they're going to be doing what some of you guys are blaming us for with this stuff on these videos that folks are upset and saying, hey, if we don't get our SNAP, we're going to snap and we're going to start doing things to make people uncomfortable. So you better give us our SNAP. Again, I'm bringing it down to layman's terms. So in all of their high level speaking, that's really what it boils down to. Lastly, where is this money going to come from? Well, just like now, okay, it's the taxpayer against the folks that are receiving the SNAP benefits, or the able-bodied folks that aren't working. That's really what the deal is. Hey, you got to work because I'm working as well. Well, it's the same playbook. And the folks that you ain't looking at is the ones that's making the rules. Why are they always trying to get up there? Because, you know, birds of a feather flock together. They go up there poor and they leave rich. We, the people, pay for it, and they pit you one against another. And so what you have to do is you have to understand the playbook so that you can move forward. As the host there was saying, or asking Mr. Yang, well, how do you propose this is going to be paid for? Back to my point, well, we're going to take it from the rich folks. Well, if you do that, and looking at New York as an example, them folks going to leave. California, they leave. And so you get a lot of folks at the bottom, and first thing you do is you kill their ganas, the desire to want to own something, because the ownership comes with responsibility. There's a lot of things that you have to do. I don't want a house. I don't want to change the filters. I don't want to do anything. It's akin to your body, right? When you're younger, less problems. But as you put mileage on this thing, the further along down the line you get, if you neglect it, when it breaks down, it's going to break down. But if you do the maintenance checks and things of that nature, you reap the reward for your investment. But a lot of us have been hoodwinked into thinking the government, you are the government, is you the people. And so we got to change the mindset, and that's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, and there's going to be some discomfort. But in order to deal with things in my life, your life, anyone's life, you have to be honest and understand where you are and then get to the root of the problem, not the symptoms, the root. Because there's not that many people on benefits. There's really not when we look at the total population. And a lot of money is being misappropriated across the board. But you can't clean up the house. You can't clean the temple because everyone is trying to just get to the next level so that they can rob and steal. You see what I'm saying? It's not so we can have reform. So I digress. My point with these videos is this. You have to understand what's going on. And that's my goal. To use the entertainment, to use the shock sometimes to get your attention. And hopefully you get to this part of the video to understand you have to be an owner. You have to own. And owning implies I'm going to take responsibility. And when we get enough of those people, then the representation of the whole will be what it is that you want to see, because now it's the opposite. It really represents what the whole is, and it's robbing and stealing. 3-card Monty. It's telling you one thing, but nobody's watching what they're doing. Again, they're still getting paid. Do you want to live like that? That's the question. Now, let's get into the solution phase, because I always want to give solutions. And before I give my 3 solutions, here's a solution I don't think that you should entertain. Check it out.
So I hear them people about to cut off y'all food stamps. Don't worry, I got y'all back. All right, so the first thing y'all gotta do is y'all gotta go to Afterpay, okay? Go to Afterpay, go to their gift cards, select a gift card of choice, okay? Now, I prefer Kroger's, but you could choose Kroger's, Walmart, Target, whatever. Just go ahead and check and see what they got. The reason why I prefer Kroger's, though, is because you can also use it for gas. Yes, a little tea for y'all. Now, once you choose the gift card and the purchase amount, you're going to also select purchase for self. Once you choose purchase for self, then you go ahead and make y'all payments and just paying for installments, okay? Now, don't let these people stress y'all out. And don't mess it up for everybody, because it only takes one person out of the bunch to mess it up for us.
Child, please. Don't go to Afterpay, Affirm, or Klarna. You don't have the money now. You see, this is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that this is what this young lady is implying, because she did say you could pay it back over time. But that's bad advice. Okay, you're already behind the 8 ball, if you will. And so I think you should do this. First of all, get with your family, all right, and figure out who knows what to do within your group. Who understands money? Who understands credit? Who understands real estate? What do you have in your group, on your team? You see what I'm saying? That's my solution number 1. You need to evaluate, take an assessment of those that labor amongst you. Because from there, number 2, now you can start assigning and saying, okay, we're all going to get behind this person, because they're not just saying they have the ability, but they've shown that they have the ability, so that as a group we can move forward. Let me give you an example. You might have to come together as a family to get into a property. I said this prior to the pandemic and through it. Homeownership is at stake. And your home is the new corporate office. If you have no peace, if you have no stability, you can't do nothing else. And if you think them people, as she said, them people are going to look out for you with $1,400 a month, then, you get what you deserve. So get your family together. This is a great time this year if you don't have these things, because now you can focus on what's important. Because all those other things are distractions. Turn off the football game. But whatever you do to distract yourself, and evaluate your team, say, okay, we're all going to make a plan of action so we can move forward. Let's get a house. Let's get some assets. Now, for those of you that has passed you by, all right, who understands equities and some of these fractional share platforms where we can start pooling our money together, because you got to have some assets. Inflation is inflating a lot of these assets. And I didn't say gamble, and I didn't say the lottery. That's what a lot of us do. It's time to take some time to learn some things that are going to be applicable 10 years from now if God and our Lord and Savior tarries, because you got to occupy until he comes. And so that's number 2. And then number three is this. You got to go through your budget. We're creatures of habit. It's kind of like during the pandemic, you had the rent moratorium. I didn't even talk about the student loans that a lot of you guys have that you didn't have any payments, nor was the interest accruing if you had federal student loan debt. And how many of you guys paid it off? I digress. You see, I'm not talking about those times, right, where everything seemed like it was lovely and you get distracted. But go to your budget. Your budget is going to tell you what's going on. Went through mine today. Always fine tuning. And I could afford everything that I just got rid of. But see, stewardship is another level. So you have to take an account for where you are. And if you can buy a house, gold or silver, equities, learn how to, whatever it is, there's a ton of ways which one fits you or someone in your group. Because by yourself, it took me a long time to learn this. And 2 minds are better than 1. You see what I'm saying? And so you got to learn how to stick together. You ought to see the comments on these videos when I mention coming together as family, especially in certain communities. I ain't messing with my people because of this and this. That's a curse. I digress. So those are the 3 things. Don't go borrow money that you don't have. Don't lie now and never pay later. Don't do those things. If we change that mindset, then we could really look out for the folks who can't fend for themselves and not throw them to the wolves, but give them a place that is dignified and clean and, they could be safe. If this message resonated with you, one call to action today, and you want to purchase a home, my contact information is in the description below. Don't reach out if you don't have a job. Don't reach out if you want somebody to invest in you and you don't have any money. It don't work like that. But if you're gainfully employed and you just need some help getting over the hump, maybe with down payment assistance or understanding how to take advantage of the opportunities that are available today, those are the folks that I'm talking to. Everybody else, my time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, guys, let's be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. And until the next time, indeed,